Folks, aiming at greenhorn gardening. As you can see, we got a lot of grass to cut. A little bit too much for the little push mower I have. And I don't have a bush hog, but what I do have is a scythe. Good old school scythe. Typical, looks like one of these Grim Reaper things, right? Hope you can see that. And so it's good for cutting grass. It's meant for cutting wheat and things, but we just kind of haven't really taken care of it much because you can see all that rust in it. But so we're sharpening the blade here, or wetting it, or whatever they call it. Haven't done this in a while, and it's just been this is kind of the slow way of doing it. Some guys can just do it both ways, but I've never been particularly good at doing it that way, so I just kind of wetting stone here to every little bit like that, and just all the way down to the tip here. Pretty sharp, so be careful if you ever buy one of these. And we'll come back. Really need to get it on the peen and the hammer on it, really. So you don't not want to stub my toe on that. You'll slit your foot off. So as you can see, I was doing some here. The idea is it's not meant to get a real fine cut. The main thing is just to get through some of this heavy stuff, and then you can come back with the push more and do some more. But I figure I'd give this a shot and show you guys how this kind of works. I'm not a good scyther at all, really. As you can see, we've got some pretty tall, a lot of grass here that's already been somewhat cut, and it's kind of a weird way to do this. It's definitely quieter. As you can see, we just gonna start here, and it's a searing motion, which sometimes I'm not always able to get right, but those of you who do use scythes, so you can see it's mowing. Just a little bit at a time, and as you can see, we're kind of going down the hill here, and then we can step back here. We've gone about 3 feet or so. We've got a lot of that stuff there done. And we can just keep going all day like that, just good aerobic exercise, but not. It's kind of a human-powered bush hog, really. Try to keep the camera a little bit more steady for you. Kind of hard to do, because I kind of like to. I'm starting to pull and drag instead of just. It's hard for me to keep the camera steady, so because there's a certain hip motion that goes with it. Well, that was not such a good pass there. So if you got some human bush hogging, it needs to be done. So look at that path there. And just kind of since we started, and we could go in just about any direction we wanted. And again, you're not going to get that smooth cut like you would with a regular lawnmower. But if you've got really incredibly overgrown grass, as you kind of see here, something like the Scythe can, one, you can get a workout and it's not too hard on you, and two, you can oh yeah, that's sharp, and two, you can get a lot of this grass cut. You don't have to pay money for gas on it, and then you can come back with your gas mower and try to cut some more of it like so, to get it a little bit, you know, give it that baseball diamond look to it. But I got this from Scythe Supply. Good thing about this is they will actually take certain measurements from your body and make a custom handle and stuff for you, and they have a variety of blades. This blade is nothing very complicated. It's a very simple blade. It's not one of these long, you know, 6-foot, you know, Grim Reaper size blades, but it can cut some roughage. Like we see, we got some big weeds there that we're going to have to cut through. We can cut through that pretty easily. So it's almost like part machete, part scythe. So it's pretty durable. Forget exactly the blade type, but here I just had some epoxy here. It needs to be filed down, but you can see the custom made handles. The upper unit, lower, and just sits like this, you know. It's lightweight, and this is how people cut grass before they had lawnmowers. Now, there's another thing called a swing blade that my parents had, which is a lot different, where you're actually swinging the blade down and trying to mow the grass. But this is more of it's a searing motion. It really is. If you look at it, you're cutting in a circular motion, just like you would in on your lawnmower. And it's sharp as a razor, although this one it's about time for this one to be peened. And so the thing is if you're starting here and swinging all the way around, it's easy to get a 6-foot swath every single time. And so it's kind of neat. You know, it's kind of fun to fool around with a couple of times a year, but it's one of those things that makes you realize why it's nice to have some small gasoline-powered motors and things like that. Because we had to go back to scything. Gosh, it'd take me a month to cut all this by myself. But if it gets overgrown, you know, you can get the big, heavy stuff with this, and then just come back with the lawnmower later. Make it a little bit easier on the lawnmower, and it gives me a good bit of workout. So, but anyway, Scythe Supply is where I got this. Good people there, and you may want to check them out. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. One of the big kind of little bushes I was talking about. See, it's right straight through it, no problem. No real problem. It's time to paint it again, but there you go. You see how it works. It's kind of a nice and relaxing way to cut mow. Have to stop about every 15, 20, 30 of these and do this again. Other than that, you just keep going. And you just keep going like that, you know, until you can get all of it done. You don't have to, with this way of cutting, you're just going to pick a section of grass to cut. It's not, you're going to do all this in one day. Forget it. You pick a section and you cut that, and then you just be happy, and that's it, be it. That's it, be it. I'm going much faster this time. Be very careful. Don't be putting your finger up here, because you'll just cut your freaking finger off, man. Just be careful. Drop my... Oh. At any rate, you put water in it. It's all spilt out now. Not all of it, but it goes in there and it just goes on your belt buckle. They make these, get some of these in brass. Some of them are in plastic. I get the plastic. And then we'll just resume. Again, don't expect to get that kind of a baseball diamond. Go back here. I need to get the the lawnmower can handle that. What I need to do is get to this really thick stuff. So we're going to back up here, about right here, and just start here. See? We're pulling a little bit too much. As opposed to, it's a searing action. See? See? It's a searing action. See? Kind of happy I bought this thing now. I always wondered, was I just wasting my money just because it was another toy to have, you know? So as you can see, that's what's been cut. Look how long it is, as long as my arm. And see, we can just keep going like that all day. And we'll probably just do all that until we can get all that big stuff done. And just take your time. Sometimes it's good to take a little bit and just kind of clean off the blade some. It's quiet and peaceful. That's why I like it. Get you one. Scythe. ScytheSupply.com in Perry, Maine. Good people. They coat it with some sort of waterproof stuff down here. The upper part's just wood, and your oils and stuff from your hands tend to protect that part. Don't want to leave it outside like I did and you get a little pieces of rust on it. Need to clean it off, coat it with a little bit of oil so it'll stay good. It just seems like tin, but I'm not sure what the metal is exactly. It's a fun way to mow, and that blade is kind of nice. Not very expensive, not too long and difficult to use, but not too short, and I like it. You know, that whole Grim Reaper thing, you know. Fun stuff. Alright, check you later. Get into some really thick brambles here. Peel back a little bit. A little bit more effort here, but oop, a little bit off balance. Kind of on an incline here. Oh. But as you can see, it just pulls it on down. There we go. I mean, look at all that. It's just, you know, my gosh. I mean, if you were just doing that with a regular old lawnmower, it just get all bogged down and just cut off on you. Good workout. Not too hard on the knees or anything, just good cardio workout. We all need better heart health. Just it just keeps going. See how it just hits that and just plenty of fluids to this. Need a lot of Those of you who are more experienced scythers, give me some tips. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, what I could do better, more efficiently, that kind of thing. Let's go on back down here and see what it looks like. The whole path. All right, get you one.